Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today is the final installment of my Italy series. It has been so much fun bringing you these videos, and I hope you've enjoyed them as well. I'm so glad that we have these here to reminisce on our trip, and I encourage you, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, just put all your clips together from a trip or from any event so you have them to remember whenever you want to watch them. It is so fun, and I feel like we rarely put all those little clips that we have on our phone together in one spot. So today you are finding us on a train going from Florence to Venice. Like I said in the last episode, the train system in Italy is so easy to use, so efficient, and so affordable for tourists. Now, like I've mentioned many times in this series, I've actually been to Venice before, but I feel like I enjoyed this visit so much more. It was really nice to stay here for a few days. Last time we just came here on a day trip. So I recommend, if you're planning a trip to Italy and if you can stay in Venice for a few days, I highly recommend it. The city is just a lot less busy in the morning and at night. A lot of tourists just come in for the day. You can see us here taking a water taxi from the train station to the closest port, I guess you could say, nearest our hotel. And man, this city is just so unique. That is the word that comes to me when I describe the city. There's no other place like Venice. You can see all the little canals that we're driving past. It was honestly kind of refreshing not seeing cars whizzing past us. We had too many close calls with cars driving past us too fast when there were no sidewalks to walk on. So honestly, I kind of enjoyed the no cars. I enjoyed walking over the canals, even though it is kind of tiring going over so many bridges with your luggage. I saw so many people with strollers, so kudos to all the people traveling to Venice with children and carrying their strollers up and down all the bridges, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of bridges in Venice. But this city is so vibrant, so unique, so beautiful. If you ever get the chance, you have to come to Venice because it is just an experience. Here's a quick tour of our hotel room, like I always like to do.
Twice your size.
Special attention to the espresso machine. Super nice. The usual Steve and Tanner look. After we got settled, the first thing we did was we grabbed some takeaway pasta from a popular place called Del Moro's. I know it's shocking we didn't get gelato first. That's the first thing we've done in every other city, but we were so hungry and it was totally worth it. I, of course, got cacio e pepe. Maybe I should have branched out and tried something else, but it was a very fast-paced restaurant, so I kind of had to make a quick decision, but I didn't regret it because it was delicious. After that, we just kind of walked around, started taking in the ambiance and the energy of Venice, just looking at the interesting streets. Like I said, it's just such a unique city. I know I'm going to say that a lot in this video because it's just the best way to describe it. It's so unique. We eventually made our way towards a library. I'll leave the name below, where you can actually get a picture taken inside of a gondola. They just have it floating outside of the library, so if you don't want to pay for a gondola ride, you can still get that iconic picture, which I didn't really want to pay for a gondola ride. I did that last time and I didn't think it was worth it. I'm so glad we came to this library because it was very quirky and cozy and just had that vintage old Venice vibe. So many unique books in there. It was very crowded, but the line didn't take very long and we got these iconic pictures taken. After finally getting some gelato, we popped back over to our hotel for just a bit, which was nice because our hotel was very centrally located to everything, so it was easy for us to hop in and out of there. They had such good amenities, this full snack bar with an espresso machine and an espresso machine in our room. I thought it was so cute how the keys to our hotel room were like actual keys instead of like a key card that you usually get in the States. And then special shout out to my shoes. I just took a picture of them because honestly these shoes saved my life on this trip. I wore them every day and my feet really didn't hurt that bad. So this is another tip for you if you're going to Italy. Just buy a nice pair of white sneakers and they go with pretty much everything. After having some espresso out on the balcony of our hotel, we ventured back out to see some of the major sites in Venice, like the Rialto Bridge, which was very busy at this time. I wish I would have taken a picture of what was going on behind us because pretty much at every spot we went to, you can see from the videos, if it's a popular spot, you're getting like the Instagram photo, but then there's like 100 people behind you. So just a reminder of reality versus Instagram. Then we stopped by this famous sandwich shop so Steven could get a sandwich. I was still full from our lunch/dinner. We kept eating at weird times, so then we'd just kind of have like a snack later. And then we made our way towards the Doge's Palace. Another hot tip for you guys, I'm just full of them on this video. Doge's Palace is actually open later now. I think this is a recent thing they're doing in Venice. So you can go and tour the palace later in the day. I think it's open to like 8 p.m. or something like that. So I highly recommend going and seeing it later. It is way less crowded. I remember it being so crowded last time I was here. And you can see we were the only people in like the courtyard of the palace, which was so cool. Like most of these places, I can't begin to tell you every painting and ornate thing you're looking at, but if you didn't know, the Doge's Palace is where basically the Venetian government and almost like the Venetian royalty lived, obviously back in like medieval times. But there are so many different rooms in this palace for all the different facets of the way their society was run, all the different facets of their government. And just look at the detail of these ceilings and on these paintings. Like, even looking back at it now, I'm still in awe of how ornate and detailed and just luxurious. And I think this place is really known for its like Gothic influence. So I felt like the Venice trip, and you'll see more of this later, really leans into the spooky vibes that we're like starting to get into now. Now it's July as I'm editing this, but it's just like a good place for kind of that spooky vibe. If you're into that, I'm definitely a spooky girl over here. So it's just very interesting. Highly recommend going here. They also provide you with an audio tour. Actually, I think we did have to pay for it, but it was pretty cheap, and you can just walk through at your own pace and you get to hear about all the different things, like all these ancient weapons that they have. And I think they had like an armor suit for a child, which was crazy. So definitely a cool place to go check out, especially when you get to the Bridge of Sighs, which you will see here in a little bit, and the dungeons that are on the other side of the palace. for our last full day in Venice, we got up a little bit earlier to go to Mass at St. Mark's Basilica. This was actually a super cool experience, and I didn't get any videos of this. Obviously, I wanted to be respectful, but I did get a few clips at the end. Also, reminder, when you get up early, no one is in the famous spots. Look at St. Mark's Square and St. Mark's Basilica. No one is out there. So such a beautiful time to go and see things if you get up early. So we were in Italy on June 2nd. It was actually a national holiday. It's called the Festa della Repubblica, Republic Day, and this is when Italy officially became a republic back in 1946. So it was cool to see them do a little flag ceremony and just see how another country celebrates their national holidays. A lot of similarities and then also very unique. Then we walked to a northern part of Venice. It was a little bit farther from some of the touristy spots, and I feel like we got more of a local experience. So I'm very glad that Stephen was leading us this way. At first I was like, where are we going? We were going down so many windy alleyways, and I was like, are you sure you're taking us to the right spot? But he was, and there was a pretty famous bakery over there, so we got some bakery items and just sat outside in the piazza. Kids were playing soccer, parents were chasing their kids, the church bells were ringing. It was just such a beautiful Italian moment. Alright, so the next thing I went to was very out there and very different from the things we have seen so far in Italy, but I saw a advertisement for it in our hotel and I just had to go. It was an Esoteric exhibition that had just opened this last December, and I think it's only on display for just a little bit here in Venice, but man, did they have so many artifacts dealing with witchcraft and shamanism and mysticism and Freemasonry and like all these different, like, I guess you could say conspiracy theories. I don't think witchcraft is a conspiracy theory. I mean, people may differ with me from that. You guys know I'm a little witchy over here. But as soon as I saw the advertisement, I knew I had to go. Steven didn't go with me. He just waited outside, and I felt like I could have spent hours in here. There was so much to look at, so much information. I was just taking videos, taking pictures for me to read later. It was truly fascinating, and it just felt a little refreshing to see something so drastically different than what we had been seeing so far in the country. And I think it was also a good reminder that even though we were seeing a lot of these ancient sites, like the really ancient stuff of this land and of these different cultures, a lot of it has been destroyed over the years and covered up with different things. So just good to keep your mind open. I love stuff like this. I was just eating this up and found it so interesting. I am very glad I went. So if you're in Venice and they still have this exhibition and this is your vibe, definitely go check it out. After spending a pretty significant amount of time in this exhibition, I was very hungry, so we went and got some of the best tiramisu in Venice, according to the internet, and I would have to agree, it was really good. I actually wish I had some right now. And then afterwards we walked to the bell tower, went up in the bell tower. That was a really fun thing to do, something that I did not do last time I was in Venice, and I would also recommend this just because you get such stunning views of the entire city. 360 views of Venice. After wrapping up our night with dinner and of course gelato, we got a good night's sleep, and the next day we woke up and drug our luggage all around Venice, and of course we had to check out the most narrow alleyway in Venice, which was pretty cool to see. You can see it was almost rubbing up against my arms and shoulders here. It truly was very narrow. Definitely if you're claustrophobic you may not like this. And then we continued to lug our luggage up and down what seemed like a million bridges in Venice, trying to find the right ferry to make it to the airport. We finally found the ferry, got there just in time, and made our way towards the Venice airport. Now, I said this in the first episode, I'm going to say it again. If you're doing international travel, get a credit card that gets you lounge access. That was such a game changer on this trip. They had delicious food in this lounge. I think it was called the Marco Polo Lounge. I'm not sure why I remember that. Then we finally got on our flight back, which ended up getting delayed by, I think, 3 hours. I watched almost a whole movie before we actually took off. And we missed our connecting flight in Toronto, and that's okay because we got an extra night in Toronto. We got some extra time to relax, and then we finally made it back to Missouri to see our sweet Schnuckum. I missed Arlo so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Italy series. It's been so fun recapping it with you all. If you liked it, make sure you like it here on YouTube, give it a thumbs up, and also leave a comment below with the thing that you enjoyed the most, or maybe you've been to Venice and you've seen some of these spots or things that you recommend. And if you are new here, please subscribe. We have new videos pretty much every week on lots of different topics, but they all relate to living an aligning, fulfilling, and present life. I'm sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes, and I will see you in the next video. Is the duck here? Bye.